Hello, good people,
Well,
and welcome back to another edition of the Mizzle Dub Show. We're going to do a little bit different this time. I am introducing this, and of course, normally we'll have the music going, but we got a lot to tackle on this edition. So again, that's Dub, I'm Mizzle. Let's get it going, brother.
well, um, 32 teams had the goal of getting to Glendale, Arizona in Super Bowl 57. 14 teams qualify for the tournament. Of course, only one from each conference will get to go, and of course, only one will hoist the coveted Vince Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah.
Like I said, we will cover the matchups. We will quickly do a recap. Mizzle will give his State of the Raiders Union address, and please be advised there may be a lot of passion coming from him.
Well, your brother's in a good mood today, as you see. I'm down in my other
Yeah.
team, you know. So they won today, so I can take that. Warriors had the day off. I thought about putting on the Warrior jersey, but you guys rarely see me wearing my other team, which is the Sixers. So I thought I'll throw that on. But yes, I will be giving. Who knows? I might shock you with my State of the Union.
Indeed. First off, Black Monday has already started in the National Football League.
The Texans are wrong for that.
After some would ask the question, why did Levy go for the win and just not keep the number one draft pick? Well, here's the thing.
You play to win.
NFL players have pride. NFL coaches have pride.
Yeah.
Exactly that point. You play to win the game.
Hello.
And it's just, Herman would say it best. It's just, I don't understand why people always want to credit somebody or discredit somebody for not going for the win. This is what you get paid to do. You get the most synonymous thing with quarterbacks and coaches: wins and losses. That's what it boils down to. That's just what it is, and that's just how it is.
Agreed.
So Lovie Smith, unfortunately, gets the axe.
He won't be out of a job long. He will not be out of a job long.
I don't know what the McNair family is doing. And okay, yes. Houston finishes the year 3-13-1. A lot of those games, they were competitive. They didn't quit. They played to they played to the very end, and the better team, the other team won, as expected. But the Texans decide to try to go another route, as they will now try to find another.
I just want to make a statement on this on that before we dial into our rundown real quick. If you are a minority coach right now, do you even take the offer from the Texans, knowing what they have done the past 2 years?
No, because this would be my first question if I'm interviewing for the Houston Texans job. What is your vision? What is your plan? What are you going to do to make me? What are you going to do to try to convince me that, okay, I need to coach here?
Yes.
I need to move my family here. I need to be a part of this community. What's your plan? What is your ultimate goal? Because my ultimate goal is to hoist that Lombardi Trophy. That's the goal of any coach that gets into this profession to coach in the National Football League. What's your vision?
Yes.
What's your 3 to 5 year plan? Tell me that.
Yeah.
If you can't convince me of that, I don't want to be here.
But here's the thing: they have to do it because of the rule. So it's like
yes.
I don't know, bro. It's almost like, can we just do this over the phone and say you interviewed me, because me coming in ain't gonna do that?
Just FaceTime me, just Zoom me.
Because this is almost like Brian Flores all over again.
Who really?
One more take.
Who really should still be coaching the Miami Dolphins?
Yes, and kudos to them, Mike McDaniels, for getting the Dolphins. But one last take that we're gonna go, and we definitely got to get into it, because we ramble off a lot, but I will never ever, as long as I have breath and eyesight to watch football, and as long as Mike Tomlin is walking the sidelines as a Pittsburgh Steelers head coach, I will never, you hear this, never go against Mike Tomlin. Did they make it to the playoffs? No. 16 seasons as a head coach, and he has 0 donut losing seasons.
And they started the season 2-6. They start the season. Struggled with Mitch Trubisky. Went to the rookie Kenny Pickett. I kept saying, give Kenny Pickett another season. Let him develop a rapport with Deontay Johnson.
I mean, of
and
course,
George
you got that
Pickens.
nice little tool named Pickens. Yeah. Yes.
And you got Ferry Muth, who's becoming a very good solid tight end also. And of course, you got that man. You got 925 of the building, Mr. Najee Harris. What we always say on this show, because we promote the show about this team all the time. Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the best ran organizations in sports, period.
Hands down.
And like we said, the motto is, don't go against Tomlin. Do not go against him at all.
How are we playing the Steelers? Oh, never mind. I'll wait for that for the state of the Raiders Union. Let's run it.
All right. So, boy, I'll tell you what. We crowned a division champion on Saturday, and I'll tell you what. It has been a very, very, very like that. The crowd was electric. The crowd was lit. It really definitely felt like a playoff atmosphere in Jacksonville, Florida. And we said when he was hired, we said that Doug Peterson was going to improve this team vastly and mightily. And it showed. And oddly enough,
they damn near might beat the Cardinals.
Well, they beat them. Well, remember, they beat them earlier this season in their house in Inglewood and actually slaughtered them, beat them 38-10, which, again, we will go back to that as we preview these wildcard games. But it was the defense that won the game for the Jaguars as the defense forced a fumble. Josh Allen said, "Thank you very much," scooped up the hot dog, put some mustard on it, and went bye-bye. And the Jaguars win the AFC South by a final score of 2016, ending the 3-year reign of the Titans in the AFC South.
Yes.
Just kudos to Doug Peterson.
And Coach Staley's an idiot. Coach Staley's an idiot. He's an idiot. Like you just said, win or lose, you locked your position. Now you almost damn near lost one of your best receivers in Mike Williams, who can never stay healthy. I mean, it's not shocking, but he should not have been in the game. But that rests my case.
Well, not only he might not play, but it looks like Joey Bosa has re-aggravated his groin injury, which certainly looks like my team benefited from getting the better Bosa, if you will.
You were worried about the Bosa.
I'm still worried about him because, again, that name just screams injury prone.
It does. And like they've been in college. Since they've been in college, you're right.
Like we always say, your best ability is availability. So, running down the scores, Buccaneers ended up playing for it. They were not going to change slots, so the Falcons get the win. Desmond Ridder was solid. So, for the second time in NFL history, we have a division winner that's under 500 that will host a home playoff game. First time since the Seahawks did it back in.
And they got to the Super Bowl that year, didn't they?
The Seahawks, no, they didn't. They won a playoff game, lost to the Bears. Bears eventually got.
I thought that was the year they saw the Steelers in the Super Bowl. I thought that was that year.
No. That year they went in 2006. They went 13-3 and had home field.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. You just froze badly.
So did you.
So I don't know who it was. So what that means is, or hell, you're back. Let's get the people what they want.
Yeah.
A live showing. So yes, you froze, so you don't know who it was, but let's continue.
Live TV folks. But like as I was trying to say, there was no way the Bills were going to lose this game being back at home.
No.
Given what they've gone through, the situation with Hamlin, who again, and just to segue real quick, if you don't believe that God is not real,
you beat me.
Where Hamlin was last Monday night to where he is today.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you.
You beat
the
me.
The man is talking.
Yeah.
The man is breathing on his own.
Yeah.
They had tubes in his throat.
Yeah. He died damn near 3 times.
He coded. Yes, he coded.
He was dead at the stadium for 9 minutes.
Yes.
And I don't really want to embark back on this, but he was gone. That's better. Let's use that way. He was gone from this earth for 9 minutes.
He was with Jesus.
The training staff guy from the Bills resuscitated him until the EMTs got there. Well, when they were on the field, but he was the first one to respond to resuscitate him. And on the ambulance ride home, on the ride to the hospital, he went again, and they brought him back.
Hamilton is his last name. The man who gave CPR on the field. He received a game ball from John Brown today, but Naheem Hines, you could not script this at all.
The opening
kickoff, but not just one return for a touchdown. It's 2 returns for a touchdown as the Bills fought off the Patriots. The Patriots came into this game. They controlled their own destiny. If they won, they would get the last seed in the AFC, which goes to the Miami Dolphins.
But brother, you know this feeling I got?
What's that?
I don't want to bring it back up, but this has that Patriot 9/11 Super Bowl win.
That's a very valid point.
The Bills
that's a very valid point.
Everything they're doing is for 3. For 3.
Oh yeah.
Everything.
No question.
Everything that the Bills are playing for is for 3. And when you get that in a locker room, watch out. That's why I have not just the one in the Super Bowl before this. I had them in the Super Bowl before this.
So did I.
Now, if it doesn't come down to the Bills and Bengals in the AFC Championship game, I got one of those 2 coming out of it. Vice versa. If the Bills happen to have too much of this going on right now, but clearly they got this and this going good because you just saw how they came on the field yesterday.
Not to mention the whole city of Buffalo.
Well,
and Bills Mafia.
Well, next to Raider Nation, they're the best fans in the business. I mean, just
minus the tables.
You can hate on my team all you want, but we're the best fans in the NFL. I don't give it. That's call me homer, call me what you want. But Bills fans and Raider fans are hands down top notch. You know,
they are both original American Football League teams. So there you go.
All right,
with 2 legendary owners in Mr. Wilson and Mr. Davis, but Bills finished the year.
Tell me the prayer because everybody in this world pray for that man, that young man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's every time that I spoke about him, I always say, and I ended it, it's bigger than football, man. That man was on the line.
Like we always say, football is a community, football is a brotherhood, and that was shown tremendously on display without question.
And don't you think Bills Mafia put that? I think Bills Mafia probably raised some money just for him. And kudos. I know we got to move on, but also kudos to the Bills organization because in his contract, if he went on IR, he was to lose money. The Bills renegotiated his contract to where he's going to get damn near
his whole salary. Yes,
his whole salary.
Kudos to the Bills for that.
I ain't got nothing else to say, bro. Pittsburgh Steelers and the Bills organization is showing you how to run football and take care of your players and your coaches.
Bills finished the year 13-3.
Which
Unfortunately,
should have the number one seed. Screw F the NFL. F the NFL.
That's the
They dropped the ball on this. They just single-handedly handed the one seed to the Chiefs. You knew the Chiefs was going to go to Vegas and dominate the Raiders. Come on now. Ray Charles could have saw that.
But unfortunately for the Chiefs, if they get to the AFC title game, it will not be at Arrowhead. Of course.
And that's the beautiful thing. That's the only reason why I'm not causing more major hell, because if that game was held in KC, that's so you know what? Bring that to your city.
So to segue into that, what that means, fans, is because of the situation that happened between the Bills and the Bengals on Monday night, the NFL decided not to reschedule that game, which would have been hard to do. Which means you possibly could have had altering schedules for the AFC playoffs, and they didn't want to press against that. Yeah. So the scenario is
TV time. The TV slots are already booked up for that.
And the TV slots. So if it comes down to one of these three teams, the Bills, the Bengals, and the Chiefs have to meet each other in the AFC Championship game, it would be held at a neutral site, which Allegiant Stadium has offered its doors to possibly be a site to host that stadium, considering that next year
to offer the doors.
Which means Super Bowl 58 would be in that stadium next year. So you get an early preview of what it would be like to have like a championship game atmosphere the year before you host the Super Bowl, which, again, I'm sure both fan bases or those fan bases will not mind coming to Vegas at all for the conference championship game.
You know my Raiders, you know my fan base, right? You know what they'll say if it's held, the AFC Championship game is held there, right? You already know the pundits and all the quotes. Ain't that a shame? The only AFC Championship game played in Vegas will be by two other teams in their division or in the division.
Vikings get the Bears 29-13, and that means the Chicago Bears are officially on the clock. They officially have the number one draft pick in this year's upcoming draft. Vikings stay at the 3 seed, and they get a rematch. Cincinnati wins the AFC North for the second year in a row. Joe Burrow just continues to be that guy.
Him and Jamar Chase is going to be fun to watch for years.
Yes, he is. Chase, 8 catches, 86 yards, and a touchdown. Burrow just continues to be solid. They'll meet again next week. Same time, same stadium, same place.
Same bad channel.
Same bad channel. We already talked about the Texans beat the Colts 32-31. The Florida Marlins beat the New York Yankees 11-6.
Stop it.
Either way, the Dolphins, by way of the Bills helping them out, get to go take a trip back to Buffalo in the cold, in the snow, against Bills Mafia. They get the win 11-6 over the Jets. Jets, it looked promising, but they faltered down the stretch. They finished the year 7-10. Much improved, but still some long ways to go for the Jets. And I said this earlier, but right now, if you are watching or listening in Charlotte, North Carolina, take the interim tag off Steve Wilkes right now. What he did after they fired Matt Rule, after Matt Rule got to a 1-4 start on October the 10th, Wilkes goes 6-6.
Wow.
Finishes the year strong at 7-10.
Wow.
Panthers played some good football, dealing with the quarterback shuffle that was Baker Mayfield, PJ Walker,
The Cardinals shouldn't have fired him.
And now the Cardinals might be looking for another head coach because they might not bring back Cliff Kingsbury. Just saying. But Saints fall to 7-10. Panthers finish 7-10. Panthers get the win 10-7. We already touched on it, but we'll touch on it again. The motto on the show is, don't go against Mike Tomlin. Do not go against Mike Tomlin. Steelers get the win over the Browns, 28-14. Browns finish 7-10. Steelers finish 9-8 again. Mike Tomlin never has experienced a losing season as a coach, and I think the Steelers will be back in the hunt for the AFC North next season.
I agree.
The Chargers had nothing to play for. but yet they decided to want to play their stars. And Mike Williams, who is a fantastic talent, but as we always say, your best ability is availability.
Well,
And
you
he
blame
gets
his
hurt.
coach on this one. You blame his coach on this one.
Brandon Staley in the playoffs, but not the smartest decision. But the Broncos, in a much maligned bad season for the Broncos, they get the win 31-28, and now they go on their search for a new head coach.
You meant to say the Denver Airways.
Or the Denver Walmarts, because Walmart does own the Broncos now.
Well, more of the logo like Elway, so I will go with the Denver Airways.
Well, you have been saying that in the 26 years that I've known you. Anyhow, the Giants had nothing to play for. They rest Daniel Jones, and smartly, Coach Dabble decided to rest Tyrod Taylor just in case he needs Tyrod Taylor. So Davis Webb got to play, and the Eagles with Jalen Hurts, it was a bit of a struggle, but they got the job done to get home field. Yeah. They beat the Giants 22-16. The Seahawks, not much thought will be done with them, but the Seahawks finished with a winning season. They finished 9-8. Kudos to Geno Smith, who was the redemption story of the season. A solid season. The Rams fought hard, went overtime.
We said it, bro. We even the games we said, don't let Geno turn back into the West Virginia Geno. And a few games, he was looking like West Virginia Mountaineer Geno Smith.
Well,
I'm not shocked.
Kenneth Walker return was solid. 29 carries, $114. And like I said, Cam Akers finished his season very strong. He finished the year with 21 carries, $104, as the Seahawks beat the Rams 19-16.
Very disappointed in my Seminole out there. Jalen Ramsey went from here, and since he opened his mouth,
it's like, what has happened? And now here comes the speculations about, is Sean McVay leaving the Rams? Is he?
Well, he wanted to check out last year. That's what people not understanding. Aaron Donald, they gave him the money to come out of retirement. Aaron Donald checked out after he won the Super Bowl. McVay was already considered a retirement when that happened, you know? So.
Well, the Rams gave up all that ransom to get their one Super Bowl. So
I said that when I was leaving work, talking to a guy. I was like, you know what? The Rams sold their soul for one Super Bowl, trading all those first round picks just to get them that talent and to spend that money. And now you're the worst looking team to win a Super Bowl after winning the Super Bowl the next year.
Worst record for defending Super Bowl champion history. They finished the year 5-12-1.
Yikes. So we don't know who's freezing right now. It could be me. It could be him. It will be the mystery as we continue to watch the show. I have bad weather out here, so it could possibly be me. But
live TV happens. And now there's a three-way camera. What the hell? Live TV.
Anything I'm definitely going to have to put this in the caption.
I said.
There we go. Come on now. Work with me, technology. Sheesh.
This one is definitely one for the archives, folks.
We have talked too much to even restart this show, so just work with us on this one.
Yeah, bear with us, America. We apologize, but
this is not
we were on the subject.
Best professional shows, but hey.
We were on the subject of the Arlington Cowboys, who had a chance to possibly steal the division away, had a chance to possibly be the number 1 seed. All they had to do was just beat the Commies. But then the Arlington Cowboys once again became the Arlington Cowboys and laid a fat egg against the rookie Sam Howell and the Commanders of Landover. And kudos to Ron Rivera and the Commander staff because, again, you know, longtime division rivals, why not stick it to your longtime division rivals? Be like, well, you know what? As a consolation prize, you get to go play Tom Brady again in the playoffs, to which they beat you 19-3 in the opening weekend of the season. But the Commanders finished
2 different teams now, I believe, though. 2 different teams.
Yeah. 2 different teams. But I will say this. Kudos to the NFC East because every team finished at 500 or better. So kudos to that division, which is still the only division to have a Super Bowl winner in that division. That they're the only division that has that. But the Cowboys just laid an egg, lost 26-6. And in the final game of the season, the Lions came into the game knowing that they were not going to the playoffs as the Seahawks won in overtime. But they decided to play anyway and say, you know what? If we can't go, Aaron Rodgers, you can't go either. And that is the first time in a long time that the Detroit Lions swept the season series from the Green Bay Packers. That is a long, long time. And also, kudos to Jamal Williams, who broke Barry Sanders' long-time single season touchdown rushing mark in a single season. Yes. I think Jamal Williams finished with 17 rushing touchdowns on the year, breaking the great Barry Sanders record.
Did you say, wait a minute, why was that not talked about more on TV? He had 17 rushing touchdowns?
On the season, he finishes with 17 rushing touchdowns, yes.
Bro, I thought the king that won the rushing title had the most touchdowns with 12. My man's had 17.
17, yes. Jamal
They
Williams
didn't even talk
17.
about it. It wasn't even if you didn't even say nothing, I'd have thought Josh Jacobs would have won everything. The crown, rushing touchdowns. 7.
Almost like how Cooper Kupp did. Yeah. Amazing, if you will.
It's almost like how Jamal Williams had 17 touchdowns at one time, how we kept saying on the show, the Vikings have the most quietest record in football.
Yeah, the Vikings were by far the quietest 13-win team, the quietest 13-win team you'll ever see.
My point.
It's mind-boggling. In his final game, he gets a sack. And you know what? Kudos to the 49er faithful for giving J.J. Watt a standing ovation and to give him one final salute.
Yeah.
As he come off the field. And I know I overkilled this phrase, but J.J. Watt definitely a better human being than football player. He does.
When it's true, it's true. So you speak upon it when it's like super facts. You already know that.
I mean, what he did for the Gulf Coast. I can't remember the hurricane that hit the Gulf Coast, not Katrina, because he wasn't in the league then. He was in Wisconsin. But one of those hurricanes that hit the Gulf Coast, J.J. Watt went to action immediately, got canned goods stuff for the people that were suffering. Just an awesome human being of what he does.
Well, what was on his jersey? What you saw was on his jersey?
Oh yeah, he is a former Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner. Of course, as you know, the Walter Payton winners, they wear that Walter Payton trophy on their jersey sleeve, just to show you just how great of people are in this community. But it was a close game, and then the Niners took care of business, and the Niners saw that they were not going to be no lower than the 2 seed, got their players out. They finished the regular season on a 10-game winning streak, and they will play the Seahawks for a third time in the wild card round. And now we've now come to where.
So before we move on, I'm gonna ask you about your team because I want the passion before I give the passion.
Okay.
He's riding a high wave right now. 5 straight wins. Okay. You know, we know the regular season is it's a new season now. This ain't the regular season now.
No, it's not.
Things get a little thicker. You know, the defense gets a little tight. You know, when you get down in that red zone, things get a little. I know he has showed you what he can do now, but is the young man Purdy, and not only Purdy, but is your coach ready for the playoffs? Because we know Shanahan can get there, but can Shanahan get out of his own box?
Well, Shanahan has to prove it to me now in the postseason. He has to prove it now.
Not just you, to hold the whole empire.
He has to prove it. Brock Purdy on the other hand, I think he is ready because just of what he said in his press conference after the game today.
Okay.
Just showed me, okay, the kid really is good because he says, okay, yeah, regular season's nice, but now he said real football begins now. It's either you win, it's either you win or go home.
So my question. That's all I need to hear, bro. That's all I need to hear because he's already got it in his mental.
Yeah,
that's all I need to hear.
Yeah,
because we've seen some young quarterbacks come in there. You know, they get their team to the playoffs. They get into the playoffs. It's a whole new season. You know, defense gets called a little bit different. Such and such. So just by that statement, that means he's already preparing himself for the situation. Okay. All right.
Well, again, here's the dynamic that I think a lot of people are forgetting. It's very rare you get a 4-year starter at college that gets drafted in the NFL now.
That's
most times.
That's 100.
Most times you're lucky if you can find
2 years,
a 2-year starter.
Three was good. 3 was like,
yeah, 3 was, 3 is like, okay, we can build on that. But I mean, you get a 4-year starter.
Yeah.
All 4 years, and you're like, okay,
football knowledgeable.
Did he play in Division II? But no, he played in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Like I said, played against Texas, played against Oklahoma, so he's not. He's not.
It doesn't help that you got 23-19, and your boy Kittle out there doing his thing, and then your man's Elijah Mitchell looked like he been playing football the whole year. It didn't look like he just came off an injury.
He definitely has. He definitely has fresh legs, which will definitely help.
Yeah. Hold on, man. Hold on. Go ahead. Yeah, just go ahead.
Whenever he gives my team too much credit, folks, he does not feel good on his inside, so he's about to wash it down with a drink or two because he does not like giving my team much credit at all. So
I'm a Raider, man. It doesn't flow, and I'm not going to change. Now I'll put it this way: we start getting, hey, you know what? Hey, that team out of Santa Clara, they're running the ball well. They're finding Kittle wide open and all that stuff like that. Deebo Samuel's coming around with the jet sweeps. Brock Purdy is just nah. But until then, man, fuck your team, bro. All day, every day. Yep, that's gonna be on YouTube. Sorry.
That's now.
Sorry.
He has washed himself whole again. But
no, on some real, not to be funny though, but spoiler, I have the Buffalo Bills playing the Niners in the Super Bowl. I just don't see if you see, I think your defense can outplay the Eagles hands down. I think your offense with Purdy may not match up because the Eagles have a stout defense as well. But I think your defense can outplay their offense to lead you to the Super Bowl, which your defense has been winning some of the games for you guys throughout. But that's been the stout.
That's been the ammo all year. No question.
Yeah. I mean, D'Amico Ryan got you guys out there playing like it's the thing to do. So, bearing a hiccup, so we can just skip along and talk about the teams. My prediction, it will be the Buffalo Bills and the Santa Clara 49ers playing in Glendale for the Super Bowl. Because I just think the Bills are riding on something that nobody will understand in that locker room unless you're in that locker room. And because I just feel it's going to happen like this. So he FaceTimed them before this last game. Okay. Now, game one, do I dare say that he's in the stadium? Okay. Okay. Now I'll say this. If I'm just trying to predict ahead, if they win that game one with him in the stadium, okay, now we're going to game two. On the sideline. So I'm just saying, riding
I'll say this: if the Bills do get to Glendale, I guarantee you they will find a way to get him to Glendale, be it on the sideline.
He will be in Glendale because I believe the way he's recovering right now that he won't have a problem traveling or anything like that. So. But
now we've come to the portion of the show to where my brother, my co-host, will give his Raiders State of the Union address after he said it best. They definitely started their vacation early against the Chiefs, as he thought they would. Chiefs got the win 31-13. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mizzle and the State of the Raiders address.
Well, beginning when McDaniels took over, I did say I didn't expect nothing. I just wanted them to be competitive. But as they played, I start wanting more because you saw the competitive go a little higher. I mean, you out there seeing Devontae Adams over here getting 2-3 touchdowns a game, and then they disappeared. But I didn't expect too much from year one. I mean, but to have the rushing king and Josh Jacobs, I mean, I'll take that. I was just looking to see what McDaniels was going to do. And clearly I can see that he needs a mobile quarterback running his offense, per se. Because those runs Stidham were making, Carr ain't doing that. He's your more prototypical quarterback that stays in the pocket. Either they give Patrick Graham what he needs to run that defense, or they need to let him go. No way in hell Baker Mayfield drives 98 yards with no timeouts to win the game. No. Do you see your defense giving up 98 yards, no timeouts to Baker Mayfield?
No.
Yeah, thank.
No.
I don't even see the Saints defense doing that. Hell, Denver wouldn't even do that. So either give him the tools or get going. Here's my nose. No Brady, no Garoppolo, no Aaron Rodgers. I continue to say this, and I'm going to preach it to this day. Until Lamar Jackson signs a contract with the Baltimore Ravens, if it ain't Lamar Jackson, give Stidham a 2-year deal, draft a quarterback, let Stidham teach him this offense. We live or die another year because that's what it looked like is happening right now. Because clearly not ready right now or next year unless they improve that offensive line and they get better defense. And the experiment with Nate Hobbs playing corner outside, put him back in his natural position. Put him back in the slot. Re-sign Rock Yassin because he was solid, and find yourself a solid number 2 to go with that. I'm okay with signing a Meek Robinson, but he should not be playing the slot position because he's a suspect until you call him small. Bring back Harmon. I'm quite okay with bringing back Clean Farrell. He had a solid good play. Maybe you can put him in the middle, or maybe you can try to experiment with him outside. But McDaniels has to get players, and they need to find a quarterback to make Devontae Adams happy. Because don't piss off Devontae, and you better not let Josh Jacobs walk out of that building. If you can't come up to a deal, franchise him and then continue to work on a deal until that window closes. But you pay him every penny that is owed to him.
Well, like I said, he took a bet on himself, and he ends up winning the bet. So, with that said, he is your NFL rushing leading champion. Hard to believe he's only the second Raider to ever do that, joining the great Hall of Famer, the great Marcus Allen.
If Bo Jackson never got hurt, he would have shattered records in a Raider uniform. I don't care what nobody say. Just look up Bo Jackson and look up his running style. Or if you want to even go far back to when he was a running back at Auburn. Boom.
Well, he is a Heisman Trophy winner, no question about that.
You damn right. And the Raiders are known for drafting or picking up Heisman Trophy winners.
That is true. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, JJ finished tied for third in rushing touchdowns. You have 3 guys tied with 13: Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry, and Jalen Hurts. Nick Chubb, Zeke, and Jacobs all finished with 12. But of course, Josh wins the rushing title, rushing for 1,653 yards, few yards shy of
Marcus's
record of 1,759.
Mm-hmm.
Josh finished second in carries, 9 behind Derrick Henry. Henry had 349 carries. JJ had 340, but nonetheless, still a fantastic season by Josh Jacobs,
Durable.
who was denied his 5th-year option.
Durable.
Took a bet on himself and won. Justin Jefferson is your receiving champion with 1,809 yards.
Wow.
I did not think that Tyreek Hill would put up the same numbers he would dealing with a quarterback situation he did in Miami.
But
he finishes.
I'll eat that crow. I'll eat it.
But he finishes with 17 carries or 1,710 yards.
But who was the touchdown?
Devontae Adams. That would be Devontae Adams with 14. He is your touchdown. He is your touchdown maker for receiving in 2022.
What did those non-stayers say that? Oh, once he went to the Raiders, his numbers have declined. Even the great Brett Favre said he won't have the numbers with the Raiders that he had in Green Bay. Oh, hold my beer.
Here's the funny thing. Now he finishes exactly with 100 catches.
Mm-hmm.
He finished
should have more. Should have more. I know we don't live.
Which is what I'm saying. He finishes third in receiving yards with 1,516 yards receiving. Now, JJ had 128 receptions for the year. Tyreek Hill had 119. Stephon Diggs had 8 more catches. CeeDee Lamb had 7 more catches. Travis Kelce had 2 more catches. Devontae still outgained them in yards.
With less catches.
So let's just say if
man is stretching the field. That's all that means to me.
Let's just say if he got some more catches. Or he definitely would have
he easily could have broke Darren Waller's
Yeah. He could have. Patrick Mahomes wins the passing title. He throws for 52-50. Even with his lowest,
That's a bad. But even without
yeah,
Tyreek
with his
Hill.
lowest attempt, he only threw the ball 8 yards a pass, which was his lowest of his career, but wins the passing title. So, you made it clear. Bring back JJ.
Yes,
Bring
please.
back Stidham on 2-year deal. He does not want Rodgers. He does
Nope.
not want Brady.
Nope.
If we're gonna get somebody from the outside, he wants Lamar Jackson.
Yep. And you know what? Like I said, don't even bring me porno Jimmy G. I don't need him. I mean, you know what? Hold on. Let me rephrase that real quick. I will take regular season Jimmy G if he can play. I don't trust playoff Jimmy G. And I believe the Empire will agree with me with this because when the moment gets too big for Jimmy G, even in the Super Bowl, he drops that in the basket. You guys win the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. Forget that third down.
Like I said, you put CJ Beathard's arm on Garoppolo, he's hitting Emmanuel Sanders. Heck, if they put your arm on Garoppolo, Emmanuel Sanders is catching that football. And I know you ain't throwing a football in the middle, but I know you can still put it up there and get it to him. That I do know. If I don't know nothing else. But as I always say, if your quarterback is not in the building, then draft one till you find him. Draft one till you find him.
Or don't. No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say draft. I mean, get your scapegoat quarterback. Well, I hear what you're saying because it doesn't have to be in the first round. It doesn't have to be just if you're looking for your quarterback, draft him. I agree, and I hope that's what the Raiders do. But I would rather them use that 7th pick on defense. If somebody's there on defense, I mean, of course, you go with the best available
player on the board.
Yes. This draft will be quarterback heavy. You don't have to get your quarterback in the first round.
No, you don't.
And this ain't been said in a while when it comes to the draft. Because these drafts right now has been pretty much defense heavy.
Yes.
Wide receiver heavy per se. Few running backs here or there, and offensive linemen. But now I believe you can get a quarterback from the first round, damn near to the 4th or 5th round. I mean, is that quarterback from North Carolina coming out?
That's a good question. I don't think he is, but I'll have to research and get you a better answer.
Well, hell, even that quarterback from Kentucky got a nice little trigger.
Yes, he does, and Willis is coming out. That's for sure.
I do. Yeah, Willis. So
here we go. It's now time for the second season, and then now we're kicking into full throttle. So now here we go. The teams that qualify for the playoffs, and it gets started. Well, we'll get back to that, but out of all we can definitely call this wild card rematch weekend because all the games are rematches from regular season. You have three divisions playing each other for a third time. And the Bills and Dolphins, Ravens, Bengals, and the 49ers and the Seahawks. Probably the most intriguing game of the weekend for me, dare I say, is the Jaguars and Chargers, and I'll say this, and I'll say why.
Picking the Jags.
That too, but just seeing the arm talents of Herbert and Sunshine is exciting for me. Just the way both those men sling the football, and I'm kind of shocked that they put the Chargers and Jaguars in prime time on NBC as opposed to my team playing the Seahawks, but I get it. It's the Seahawks and the Niners. Now, I'm pretty sure it was the Packers and the Niners. I'm pretty sure it would be.
If Russell Wilson was there, you guys would have been prime time.
But alas, it's not. But
they're going with the young guns.
which I'm not mad at it. So the
Nope. And
Jaguars
we might be at
and
the Peace House watching that game.
on that Saturday.
Oh, what's the Monday game? I thought we were talking about the primetime game.
Well, the Jaguars and Chargers are in prime time. That game's at 5:15 Pacific time, which will be landed by that time. No, Monday night game is the slurp pitch. That is the Cowboys and the
Oh
Buccaneers.
yeah. Never mind. So yeah, we could definitely go down to the Peace House and watch that game and not give two flying. Oh, my bad. I forget. I'm married to a Cowboy fan. Never mind. Yeah, definitely do that.
Well, this is a rematch in the regular season play between the Jaguars and the Chargers that took place back on September the 25th, early in the year when the Chargers were 1-2 and the Jaguars were 2-1. The Jaguars got the win by a final score of 38-10. As
Embarrassing.
that particular game, Justin Herbert shined. He was 28 of 39 for 262 and 3 touchdowns. And Zay Jones had 10 catches for 85 yards and a touchdown. But that was the James Robinson game before he got traded to the Jets. James Robinson ran for 17 carries and 100 yards on the ground. But after that, it became the Travis Etienne show and the JaMychal Hasty show. So, like I said, I'm excited to see both these quarterbacks play. We don't know the status of Mike Williams. Again, it was a back injury. He was carted off.
Joe Staley.
Brandon Staley.
Oh yeah,
That's the Chargers
Brandon,
coach.
yeah. Brandon Staley. Yeah. Excuse me. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know, but right now he's listed as questionable, along with Kenneth Murray, the Chargers linebacker. Depending on the MRI, but the Jaguars were 5-3 at home. The Chargers were 5-4 on the road. But I'm like you. I like the Jaguars. Duval will be lit in its all teal and black glory.
Might be a blackout out there.
It might be, but if Mike Williams can't play, and if Nick Bosa can't, not Nick Bosa, if Joey Bosa can't play, that's going to be a problem for the Chargers. Because that's one less pass rusher, and you can easily double and triple team Khalil Mack.
Yep.
Which is gonna make a huge dividends.
Running game,
like I said, open. Yeah, that'll be big holes for Travis Etienne. I think Etienne will have a big day. But I think my X factor in that game is going to be the revived and revitalized, rejuvenated Aaron Ingram. I think this might be a game where he might shine against the Chargers.
Well, my X factor will be a little bit different. I'm gonna go with Derwin James. He's gonna be my X factor. Yes, I'm riding with the Florida State homer. Yeah. But I believe he's gonna if to stop the team, because if Bosa can't go, they're gonna have to depend a lot on Derwin James to come down and make some
the box. Yes, be in the box.
He will be my X factor.
So. Yes, I'm a little bit nervous, as I was during the NFC title game when the Niners played the Rams for a third time. Yes, I'm nervous because they're playing the Seahawks for a third time.
Is this game in Santa Clara?
It is in Santa Clara, yes. But I'm just gonna explain why. As you know, it is very hard to beat a team 3 times in the season, as my brother does the Orange Cassidy in his chair. All he needs to do is just kick up the seat so you can really relax. But there he goes. I don't think Brock Purdy will be fooled by the moment. And you definitely have the fresh legs of Elijah Mitchell to help complement McCaffrey, which he didn't have the last time. I'm going to say the Niners win I'll say by 17. I'll give them a 17-point win because I just don't think Seattle.
A nervous player would be like they win by 10. But 17, that's confidence. So you're not nervous.
Well, I am to a degree because, again, like I said, it's a division opponent you're seeing for a third time. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in a season.
Man,
Now,
that defense gonna scrape the Seahawks, bro.
well, for your sake, I hope they're right. Moving on to Sunday's matchup. The Bills, back at home as AFC's champions for the second straight year. They will once again entertain the Miami Dolphins. Yes, all for number 3. And the question for the Dolphins is, who's going to play? If it's Skylar Thompson, the Dolphins have no shot. I'm just saying it right now. If it's Tua, I know the last time they played there, it was a close win. The Bills won by 3. That was all before the Hamlin situation. Now Buffalo playing with a purpose, and even more with a purpose, playing for number 3. I like the Bills. I like the Bills.
Yeah, I like the Bills big. Not just too much emotion.
Now perhaps, yeah. Now perhaps, and that's the 10 a.m. game on CBS and Paramount Plus. The next game, this may be perhaps another close game, down to the wire as it was before, as the Giants will once again head to the big ATM known as US Bank Field, and they take on the Vikings. As for the Vikings, the quietest 13-win team you'll ever see. They win close games. The Giants, in a sense, the rest of their players, but the Giants' defense will travel. And of course, we come back to this question all the time:
which Kirk Cousins
thrive in the playoffs? Which version of Kirk Cousins are going to get? And can Daniel Jones make some plays and not put the big load heavy on Saquon Barkley? That remains to be seen. I think it'll be another close game like it was the last time, but I think Greg Joseph will kick another walk-off as he did the last time they played each other. I have the Vikings by 3.
I got the same way you're thinking, but I'm riding with the Giants.
Oh, he's going with the upset.
I am going to.
My.
Because there's always going to be one. It may not be this one, but there's always, it's like when you watch the NCAA tourney. There's always that 16 seed or that 8 seed that does something that makes somebody go.
Or the usual 12 beating the 5 seed.
There you go. Or the play-in game. So
yes.
I think the Giants, like you said, their defense will travel.
Yes, they will.
I like the Giants.
And not to mention, there's no other factor, which is why I don't understand why the Vikings don't play outdoors. Why would you not want to use that elements to? One of the greatest scenes I've ever seen was the playoff game between the Seahawks and the Vikings, when the Vikings were playing at the University of Minnesota while their new stadium was getting built. And at that time, I want to say he was in his early 90s, but Hall of Fame head coach of the Vikings, Bud Grant. And if you don't know who Bud Grant is, go watch him on YouTube. One of the all-time great coaches in the NFL. It's a shame he didn't win the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Bud Grant, in freezing cold weather, in that playoff game, flipped the coin. Bud Grant was not wearing any sleeves. Man was just in his Vikings hat and a polo shirt and walked on the field like a boss, talking about this ain't crap to me. I'm a Bud Grant, an old man.
It's true. This is true.
No sleeves in freezing Minnesota temperatures. Yeah. That image is stuck in my head for as long as I live. But I do agree, if there's one upset that could possibly happen, it wouldn't surprise me if the Giants do beat the Vikings.
Yeah.
The nightcap. Once again, they meet for a third time of the season. The Bengals and the Ravens inside the jungle. Even if Lamar Jackson returns, he will help, but there will be some rust there. And like I said, Joe Burrow just continues to be that guy. The Bengals finished the year winning 8 straight games, second longest winning streak behind the Niners. The Niners finished winning 10 games. I just don't see the Ravens doing it. Like I said, Lamar is special, and when Lamar turns it on, he is as special to watch. But there's going to be too much rust for me. There's going to be too much rust for the Ravens. I like the Bengals. I'm going with Cincinnati. I'm going with the defending AFC champions.
Well, isn't this something how the NFL can just turn? It's normally the team that loses the Super Bowl falls
They
down.
get the hangover.
They get
the hangover. Yeah.
It's never been in the era that I've been living watching this game that the winning team has the hangover. So there's no need to talk more about this game. It's going to be the Bengals because I think they're determined. And like I said, the AFC Championship game can come down to the determined team and the team that's playing with heart. And you put that together, I'm not going against that for right now. So that's my AFC Championship pick right now is the Bengals and the Bills. So yeah, definitely got the Bengals.
Well, like I said, it is a rematch for the third time. Each team's split their meetings with the home team.
That was more of a healthy Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson played in the first game as the Ravens beat the Bengals 19-17. And then the Bengals today, or should I say yesterday, beat the Ravens 27-16. So Lamar Jackson, as it stands right now, he's still out, but I'm pretty sure he's going to try to do everything he can to try and play.
I wouldn't do it if I was him. He ain't got a guaranteed contract. Don't need to hurt himself anymore.
Yeah, you don't want to. That's the big thing. Do you want to risk it? Do you want to risk it? And now coming down to the Monday night game, should we call this the Slurp Bowl, as my brother does the Tony Stark, if you will? All the aspects you can get it on. The Manning Cast, ESPN.
They're doing
ESPN
this for sure. They're
ESPN,
doing this, right?
ESPN Plus and ABC are doing the Cowboys and the Buccaneers. So that means
I'll make sure that we're watching that game on ABC. We don't need to see no Manning Cast. We don't need to see none of that ESPN Plus. We'll just do ABC. But ABC is ESPN.
Yeah, Disney owns them. Even though I wish ABC would become its own again, like it used to be back when we were kids. But hey, it's a dream. Ready out. Rematch of week 1, won by the Buccaneers 19-3. I've been saying all year the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the most Jekyll and Hyde team in the NFL. And for many years, I used to say about the Cowboys. But
I don't know because the starters played against the Commanders, and the Commanders ain't had nothing to go for.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys played like they had the Commanders record.
And Dak struggled. It's almost like you don't want to pick this game.
We're not doing that again because these teams, we understood why we weren't picking the Bills and Bengals.
Yes,
that was that's a different dynamic.
But it's always the same thing with the Cowboys. Too much talent on their team to be underachieving. Now, yes, 12-5 is a solid record. That's a solid season. You can't take nothing away from that. But it's just some of these losses that they've had just really makes you want to scratch your head and just be like, how and why? Like I said, the Buccaneers. Yes, that's one example. It's one. That is one example. Yes, indeed. I mean, like I said, even today's loss against the Commies. What? Almost gave one away to the Texans. What?
They almost lost to the Jaguars. No, they did lose to the Jaguars. Never mind.
They lost to the Jaguars in overtime.
I corrected myself. They did lose to the Jaguars. What, 21 at half? I have no right to talk. I have no right to talk, though. I don't know. I don't know how to pick this one. Who you going with?
Well, of course, the Niner enemy wants to say F the Cowboys, even though I would love nothing more to have a Cowboys 49ers NFC title game again, like the good old days of the
That would
90s.
be amazing.
But again, I just don't trust Dak. I don't.
And you trust Tom,
Dak is almost
Tom Brady. You trust Tom Brady more? The way he's playing right now, too?
no, but I know you give Brady 1 inch, he will take the whole mile.
Well, his offensive line better do their job.
They do, but if I'm the Cowboys again, I'm sending Micah Parsons all over the place. Be like, go get the quarterback.
Their
go get him.
Protect Brady.
And plus, I mean, if I'm Dak, I would ride Zeke and Tony Pollard till they both fall off because I'm not trusting him.
Healthy?
That's the big if. That's the big if. As we try to go to the injury report for this particular game, I do not see him on the injury report.
Okay, that's a good thing.
But we do know Mike Edwards, the safety for the Buccaneers, he's out. Robert Hazley, the center, he's questionable. Mike Evans is questionable. Keanu Neal is questionable. Kyle Rudolph is questionable.
They're all playing.
Yeah. But certainly Van Der Esch, he's out. That's a big problem for the Cowboys.
Big loss.
Big loss indeed. But
it's
like
always
I said,
hurt the big moments.
Yeah. It always seems to be that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Gosh. I have to pick a winner.
And this one, you said this one's in Tampa or the big phone?
It's at the Pirate Ship, yes.
You know that always simply amazes me that the team with the better record always has to travel to the team with the worst record.
Yeah, but this is your benefit of winning the division. No matter how bad the division is, if you win the division, you get to host at least one playoff home game. So that just goes to show you, folks, win your division. You get at least one home field advantage at least one time of the playoffs. I'll slightly say the Buccaneers by a Ryan Succop last-second field goal.
I'm going Buccaneers, man. I'm going Cowboys. I think the running game would do it, and I hope they send Brady into retirement.
I know that would make you ultimately happy.
Once Brady retired, we can just X off Tom Brady coming to the Raiders. Next, it will be just Aaron Rodgers saying he's done with football, and then boom, we X that out. And then it's like, we don't want porno Garoppolo. Sorry, no. I don't want to take risks. So I'm riding with the by default, I have to pick the Cowboys.
Well, of course, happy life. I get it. I totally get it.
I think the defense still wins it for him, though. Jokes aside about by default, I think the Cowboys defense, Micah Parsons, he'll get there. He'll get there.
Well, I think he definitely is the difference maker. If he's getting to the quarterback, that's going to be a problem for the Buccaneers because, like as we've been saying, their offensive line has been makeshift all year long, and it's still makeshift. But like I said, if the Cowboys are establishing the run with Pollard and Zeke, I mean, the best offense is keeping Tom Brady off that field for long periods of time. So, like I said, it will not shock me one bit if the Cowboys do win. So, just to go over the picks for Walker Weekend, we both are taking Santa Clara over Seattle.
Yes.
We're both taking Duval over the Chargers over the Bolts.
Yes.
We definitely are circling the wagons with the Bills.
Definitely, yes.
He likes the Giants.
I do.
I like the Vikings, which would not shock me if the Giants did do it, so that wouldn't shock me one bit. We both like Cincinnati.
Yes.
And he's picking the Cowboys. I'm picking the Buccaneers. So that is your preview of Wild Card Weekend, heading with a Monday wild card game. Now, I would be remiss if we didn't talk about this, but later on today, in Inglewood, California, there is a national championship of college football to be played, and I think it is going to be a dandy as the TCU Horned Frogs from the Big 12 trying to give the Big 12 its very first college football national championship against my Georgia Bulldogs. Now, this one, I'm really, really nervous simply because somebody asked me.
You should be.
Somebody asked me, what do you guys say? Well, first off, if you're Georgia, you cannot, by any means, you cannot turn this into a track meet. If you do, you're in trouble because TCU has the speed to outrun you.
You better spy that quarterback. You better spy that quarterback. You better make sure he stays in that pocket.
Yeah.
You get loose.
You need to know where Max Duggan is at all times, and you definitely got to know where the speed of TCU is at all times. Of course, I'm riding with my Bulldogs. Of course, Mizzle is riding with his secret team that he roots for, the Frogs. I think it'll be a fantastic game.
And no,
and
this ain't sure no Homer TCU stuff. I've been a TCU fan along with my Seminoles. I ride more with my Seminoles though.
But I will say this.
Go Horned Frogs.
Second. Damn good dog. Hunker down. Let's go. But I think it's going to be a fantastic game. But I'm sure, let me say it like this. If you have the opportunity to draft Max Duggan, would you?
I wouldn't do it in the first or second round because I don't think third, fourth. Yes, definitely. Because I think he can run this offense because he can deliver the ball and he can take off and make the right decisions. Yeah,
yes, indeed.
I mean, I can live and die with him for sure.
Very quickly, over to the sweet science. Gervonta Davis did his part, stopped a fighter from coming out for the 8th round, does a black flip, and once again he calls out Ryan Garcia. He wants Ryan Garcia in the worst way. He said it's in April. We'll see. We'll see if it happens. But Tank Davis got the win via making the guy quit in the 8th round. He did not come out for round number 9, and thus Gervonta Davis gets the win.
Yes.
So, the offseason is preparing itself. The Chicago Bears are on the clock. Will they trade the number 1 draft pick to get some compensation for them? That remains to be seen. But nonetheless, we thank you for watching this unusual version of the Mizzle Dub Show simply because
a little bit of freeze
froze
action.
Twice.
Yeah.
We had some freeze action, some Polaroid stills, but we said, screw it. We didn't want to mess up the mojo, so we stuck with it anyway. So we apologize for all the technical difficulties that you will see in this particular episode.
This one.
But coming very soon, maybe sooner than you think, there will be.
Oh, just tell them. The next show we do
is going to be a one-screen show, folks. No split screening. There'll be a side-by-side one-camera show. So
because you loved it, we saw it. We saw it.
We saw the response. You're like, dang it, the connection is better when it's side by side. Even though we do love doing the Zoom and love being side by side on the windows, nothing is better being able to shake his hand, be like, "How you doing?" The old
wait. We might have to set a table up and do it in the honor of our idols, and just set the video up, and we're at a table like they used to do for PTI. I think we have to do that.
You want to go Kornheiser and Wilbon? Oh my!
Want to do an honor show to our idols? Yeah, I think we should do it.
Oh well, you know what? I might have to go buy a notepad and be like Tony, as I go to the glasses. Even though I don't wear glasses, I just like as I go to the notepad.
Yes.
As I go to as I go to the notepad and the iPad.
Yes.
But I am down for paying some homage to Kornheiser Wilbon because, like I said, they are the motivation of why we do this show. It's because of them, of what they started 21 years ago, both leaving the Washington Post to do their show. The reason why we do our show. So playoffs are here. We are excited, but also sad at the same time because we know the
8
NFL is
months
coming
now.
to an end.
8 months for my team to take the field.
But we do have spring football return because the USFL is returning and the XFL for a third time returning. So you still will have some football, but you'll have spring football.
Hey, what's my motto? Somebody is hitting somebody, and that's football.
Somebody is hitting somebody in different colors, in different paddings, and different helmets. So there will be, as he would say, some leather being hit and being hit very hard. But nonetheless, we thank you for watching as we always do on this late night edition of the Mizzle Dub Show. Again, for those that subscribe, we thank you. To our new subscribers, welcome. We hope you enjoy the show. As we always say, if you have a comment, please leave one. If you have a topic you want us to talk about, don't be scared. Don't hesitate. Put it in the comments, and we will try to honor your request
and get better.
With that said, you will see us side by side very, very soon, and you'll get more than one side by side show, if you will.
Dropping fire on them.
So that's looking something that's something to look forward to. Of course, wildcard weekend looking forward to, and the week after that, the divisional round of the playoffs, and also our newest member upcoming of the 40/40 Club. Stay tuned for that. Nonetheless, he is Mizzle. I am Dub. Again, we thank you for watching. And as always, it's 5 o'clock.
Somewhere.
Some damn where.
Yes, sir. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen.